think it's really exciting that textiles are something that we interact with every day. Everybody wears clothes every day. They're in the upholstery of most of the furniture that we sit down in, but they're not something that is necessarily always thought of in a scientific way. I think they're something that can often be taken for granted. I've kind of always had making things with textiles, sewing, embroidery as like a hobby of mine throughout school and college, like making my own clothes. My research focuses on understanding the relationship between manufacturing knit textiles and the mechanical properties of these knit textiles. And so I do a lot of design of these textiles, manufacturing of them, and then we go through like various mechanical tests to understand their mechanical properties as well. I start out the design process on my laptop and I create a text file that's basically machine instructions that get sent to the knitting machine. I want to make sure that I have kept in mind what yarns I'm going to use. I'll put those yarns onto the machine, thread them into the machine, and then I'll hit go. So there's a few different ways that we can control the mechanical properties in a textile. One is we can change up like the yarns that make up the textile. If you have ever been to a yarn store, you might find that they sell like a huge range of yarns. Some of them might be stretchy, some of them might be slippery, and all of these things will lend their properties to the textile that we make. The second thing is that when we're knitting a textile, we're taking this like long piece of yarn and we're turning it into a loop, a bunch of loops that are connected to each other. And so the size and shape of this loop really affects the properties. And then finally, knit textiles have like an inherent fold to them. And so when they come off the machine, if you've ever like cut a t-shirt, you might notice that it rolls a little bit, or the tops of your sock roll. And so we can also take advantage of that like folding or rolling property, and we can start to create folds in the textile and design where they are. So right now, the project that I'm working on is thinking about these materials that have multiple stable states. So what that means is that when we pull on them in one direction, they kind of transform from a folded configuration in one way to a folded configuration in a different way. This transformation is just due to the folding properties that I mentioned earlier of these fabrics and the way that they're designed. We have also started to incorporate conductive areas into this fabric so it can create what is effectively like a soft switch. In the long term, I am really excited about building devices that can be useful for people. So thinking about what kinds of sensors might integrate seamlessly into our lives, what kinds of data are people interested in learning about their bodies. We already like wear smartwatches a lot and can learn a lot about like our heart rate data or our fitness data. And so I'm really excited about thinking what is the other data that we might be able to measure really unobtrusively through textiles. There are a lot of people out there that imagine or are building wearable devices that are made of fabric that can basically apply forces to a body. So you might have like a compression garment that can help with therapy or to like aid in cues for like moving yourself. And then there are also people that build garments that have sensors in them so they can sense your movement. I'm really excited about like exploring what these textiles can do and how we can apply these structures to maybe new devices or new processes that haven't really been done before.